Renting a hotel room is so 2013. Wouldn't you rather just Airbnb an entire castle for the low price tag of $15,000 a night? What if you woke up to a shark swimming past you in your underwater tank Airbnb? Okay, I'll just get right to the point. You could Airbnb some wicked places for price tags that'll make you want to throw up. So welcome back to Top 5 Central, where today we're looking at 10 Airbnbs you won't believe exist. When you think of an extreme vacation, you might expect to go bungee jumping or skydiving, but if you're on the really extreme side of things, you might choose to sleep on the side of a mountain. That's exactly what the Peru Sky Lodge in the Sacred Valley has to offer, and it looks like one of the most terrifying places anyone could ever choose to sleep. The Sky Lodge apartments are basically these small pods that hang off the side of the mountain, right above a giant drop to the Sacred Valley below. The glass pods hang around 1,400 feet above the ground and can only be accessed by a hike up the side of the mountain. I'm not even kidding, when you wake up in the morning, you actually have to take a zip line to get back down to the town below. These pods were designed by a company called Natura Vibe, who wants their guests to reconnect with nature and embrace their inner adventure. From the pods, you're treated to a beautiful view of the Sacred Valley, and at night, the Milky Way itself stretches out above, completely free from the light pollution of a big city. It's a beautiful and daring experience, one that'll cost you $400 per night if you want to take it all in yourself. If you're a fan of movies like Jaws and don't mind living on the wild side, this underwater Airbnb will be perfect for you. The Shark Aquarium in Paris is exactly what it sounds like, an underwater bedroom where the only thing separating you from an aquarium of 35 hungry sharks is a 360-degree transparent wall. The bedroom itself is submerged in 3 million liters of water, which is also home to 35 sharks that live in the Aquarium of Paris. This was part of a contest that the aquarium created, allowing 3 lucky contestants to win a weekend in April staying within the aquarium. The guests will be greeted by Fred Bile, which is a world record-breaking freediver, underwater photographer, and all-around shark enthusiast. He'll show you to your room before jumping into the tank to introduce you to your neighbors, and when he says that, he does in fact mean the sharks he'll be swimming about right outside the room. During their stay, the winners of the contest would also be treated to a tour of the whole aquarium, including an exclusive behind-the-scenes look into the world of sharks, how they live, and more. Treehouses can be magical places. If you were a kid and you had a giant tree in your yard, then there's no doubt you probably hoped that one day your parents would put a treehouse for you to play on top of. This treehouse in Atlanta, Georgia wasn't made for kids. It was made by a man named Peter who wanted to put his creativity to the test and build a bunch of treehouses in his own backyard. So the 3 treehouses he built each have their own theme. One is the mind, one is the body, and the last is the spirit. If you were to visit Peter's treehouses, he would give you a tour of each treehouse, which would start in the spirit area. He calls it that because of a big 165-year-old southern shortleaf pine tree, which he says watches over the place and calms everyone that stays there. The spirit is connected to the body by a swinging bridge covered in lights. This room is the bedroom. Now the bed actually rolls outside the treehouse, allowing guests to sleep under the stars if the weather's nice enough. According to Peter, the best time to stay there is in the summer, since that's when the lightning bugs are present and it makes the forest sparkle. The final house is the mind, which has a couch, a deck, and the guest book. The Atlanta Treehouse is one of the most popular Airbnbs in the world. In 2017, the Treehouse was the most wished-for listing in the world, with over 300,000 site visits per month and over 140,000 people saving it to their lists. It costs $375 per night to stay there, which sounds expensive, but for such a popular place, it's probably worth it. The Silverfield Villa is described as an ultra-modern contemporary property located at the bottom of the Sierra Nevada mountain range near Granada, Spain. The Spanish villa covers 6 floors and over 14,000 square feet of floor area, which is all accessed by a glass elevator within the building. The property has some incredible features. The infinity pool gives you an unparalleled look at the city of Granada, while the indoor pool is heated and is perfect for hydrotherapy. There's also a sauna, a jacuzzi, a cinema, a private bar, a total of 5 outdoor decks, a gym, a wine cellar, and a 360-degree viewing platform so you could really take in the sights of the mountains. If you somehow get bored of all that, there's even a games room complete with table tennis, foosball, air hockey, and a pool table. Now, if for some reason you have to leave this spectacular villa, there are some transport options bundled in with the property. You're allowed to use a 7-seater BMW found at the property. You'll also receive any other support you need, including local airport transfers, taxi services if you don't want to drive, daily cleaning, entertainment, and even a recommended local chef. So, staying at this Airbnb sounds more like staying at a highly exclusive hotel, which is probably why staying there costs over $1,000 per night. Okay, have you ever played Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald? Sootopolis City was a location built into an extinct volcano with beautiful white stone houses in the middle of the ocean. The Hector Cave houses remind me a lot of the houses from Sootopolis, and that would be because the Hector Cave house is in Santorini, which is where Sootopolis was actually based on. The cave house, which is carved into the caldera cliff, was built around 250 years ago and was originally used as a wine cellar. Eventually, this wine cellar became a family-owned summer home, which was eventually opened up to invite people from across the world to share its unique character with those who have never seen anything like it before. The big draw to this property is the private veranda, which acts as a nice spot for relaxing, dining, or sunbathing. From there, you could gaze out at the ocean, taking in the sights of the volcano, the caldera cliff, and the Thracia Island. There's even a plunge pool suitable for 2 people, which is available between April 1st and November 1st. The world we live in is slowly being put under more and more strain due to humanity's disregard for nature. As a result of that, eco-holidays are becoming more and more popular, which is getaway locations that pay special attention to living alongside nature instead of getting rid of it. This bamboo Eco Cottage in the rice fields of Bali is a perfect example. The Eco Retreat is in a secluded location down a quiet footpath in the rice fields just a 5-minute walk away from central Ubud. The house is woven almost entirely out of bamboo, is open air, and is, according to the Airbnb page, about as close to living in nature as you could possibly get. While some of these locations on this list have been all about living in luxury or dangerous situations, this Eco Cottage is about taking things right back to the basics and living in a beautiful location with as minimal an impact on the surrounding world as possible. Those who run the location say that sleeping in nature isn't really something any of us get to do. We sleep in sealed rooms in houses and hotels. But it can be really transformative to sleep in nature, open to the cool night air and listening to crickets or chirping geckos as you drift off. Now, this does mean that your experience might get a little bit scary, considering this is a completely natural property, meaning lizards, spiders, or ants may find their way into your room. In this location, it's all about the inside and the outside becoming one. Described by the listing as an iconic Malibu masterpiece, this beautiful Malibu-based home is an incredible location to stay. The building is an architectural masterpiece that was designed by the world-renowned architect Harry Gesner, who is a self-taught architect who is praised for his out-of-the-box thinking. The property is located on a hilltop that overlooks the Pacific Ocean and can be accessed through a unique arched doorway. The great room has spectacular 30 feet high vaulted arch ceilings, an open fireplace, and stone mosaic floors. Every room, including the 3 bedrooms, have wide sweeping views of the ocean. Throughout the home are distinct and handcrafted elements and furnishings, making the building feel even more unique. Surrounded by lush gardens, several vast decks, a patio area with both a pool and spa, and a 1957 Airstream trailer in the trees, it's clear to see why the Airbnb listing dubs this property one of the most outstanding and iconic homes. The only potential downside is that the property owner states that there could be no events or parties without permission, which I could totally understand. The Sky Bubble House in LA might be one of the most unique places to stay all over the world. It's located 12,000 feet high up on top of the Hollywood Hills, with jetliner-style views towards Los Angeles and Long Beach. Even weirder, the properties are basically completely see-through spheres. From within your sphere on top of the Hollywood Hills, you can see a canyon filled with celebrity homes and views of mid-Los Angeles towards Long Beach, and on clear days, you could even see the ocean. The bubbles are actually inflated through dual air units that are located outside the bubble that are constantly pumping in air and keeping it inflated. I think the strangest thing about the bubble is the warnings that come with it. The bubble is basically a see-through dome and is completely enclosed from the outside world. If you're from California or literally anywhere that's hot, the sunshine in LA is relentless, and the owners of the bubbles admit that after 10 in the morning, it will start to get really warm, and eventually the AC system won't be able to keep up. They suggest that you stay away from the bubble after 11 a.m. and don't come back until the late afternoon or evening. Still, if you can deal with that and want a completely unique holiday, this would be perfect for you. From the outside, the Rotterdam cube houses are incredibly strange to look at. They're basically a bunch of yellow and white cubes sitting on top of brick towers. It may look like modern art, but these are in fact Airbnb locations. In terms of what you could expect to find in the cube house, things are pretty normal. There are 3 main floors. The first living floor has a normal living room with a sofa, TV, and a fully equipped kitchen. The second floor is where the bedrooms are. One has a queen-size bed, and the second bedroom has 2 single beds. On the top floor, you can relax and enjoy a 360 view of Rotterdam and the other nearby cube houses. It all seems pretty standard, right? Well, that's until you see how things actually look on the inside of the property. While the house may have everything you would expect from an Airbnb, the cube-like nature of the property makes things look seriously weird. Everything is open plan, sharp and pointy because of, well, obviously the cube design. If you want to live in the lap of luxury, then this private resort in Las Vegas is the place you want to be. According to the listings, this location provides you with the best of both worlds, the amenities of a luxury 5-star hotel and the privacy of a private estate. It's a gated, multi-million-dollar exclusive resort known only as the 2810. The property is huge, sitting on 1.5 acres of land just 5 minutes away from the Vegas Strip. It's also been completely custom built with luxury in mind. There are 10 bedrooms, 6 baths, and a world-class 120,000-gallon swimming pool. This place even has its own real sand beaches and a tropical paradise, allowing you to enjoy Mediterranean beachside activities without even leaving the grounds. The location can supposedly have up to 30 people in a party staying there at the same time, and it costs $5,250 to rent it for a week. I mean, hey, divide that up by 30 people and it's $175 per person. Simple math. Wait, check out this video if you want to see the most expensive private jets in the world. I'll see you there.